welcome. We are again back to the sessions of consumer behavior, and in the last session I have talked about attitude formation and change, and in this session I will go through a small caselet to elaborate the theories little more, and in this session I will start with a small story and will follow, and you can take it as an exercise. So, we start with, it is a story of Mr. Ram Singh, who frequently travels by aircrafts from Kolkata to Delhi. Usually he chooses an airline based on his time preference, that is the schedule of the craft and the timeliness, then price of the ticket, the kind of customer support in flight and during his stay in the airport. So, he prefers meal service from the airlines rather than buying the same during his flight. He believes that travelling in the full service airline is prestigious, and most of his friends prefer Jet Airways. So, he can confirm to his group's choice if he travels by the same, and he feels that the brand that advertises more is a better brand. So, these are some of the perception of Mr. Singh. Now, we will like to see based on the theories which we have studied, that which aircraft Mr. Singh is going to choose for his travel. So, for that we have talked to Mr. Singh, and we have asked him to jot down the criteria on which basis he is going to select a craft and put some relative importance to them. So, he has listed 7 most important criteria with their weights. So, it looks like this now. Time preference, we have marked criteria as C and weights as WI. So, we have said that for time preference is criteria 1, criteria 2 is price, criteria 3 is customer support, criteria 4 is meal, criteria 5 is prestige, criteria 6 is group conformity, and criteria 7 is advertising. Okay. So, now he has been asked to put the weightages, and where the total should be a constant sum, that is sigma of Wi should be equal to 1. So, he has given the weights, that he said that time preference is 13% important to me, price is 15% important to me, customer support he has put 0.17, meal 0.09, prestige 0.11, group conformity 0.3, advertisement 0.05. Okay. So, now these are his preferred criteria, and we can see that to him when he has plotted it. So, we see that customer support is supposed to be the most important criteria, followed by price, then the time preference. This is how his relative importance has been noted. Then comes his meal. So, these 4 we can say that these are some attitude towards object wise, these are the object wise weightage, and these other things like your prestige part, group conformity and advertisement is his subjective norms, that okay, it will increase my prestige in the society if I travel by full service craft. A craft, if I select Jet Airways, then that will make me conforming to my group's choice, and I think that the brand which advertises more is better. So, he was asked to rate different airlines on 5-point Likert scale, where 5 meant the most preferred and 1 is the least. So, we can see the scorecard which we have obtained. So, look at this table now. So, in this table what we are seeing is the first one, time preference, the weight is 0.13, we mark it as B1, Air India that gets 2, which means it is 5 is preferred, 1 is least preferred, which means 1 is best 5 is best and 1 is worst. So, therefore, 2 is we can say bad, not worst, but bad in terms of time preference. Jet Airways is getting 4, which means it is good, not excellent. Indigo is getting excellent. Similarly, price, Air India, the score is 4, Jet Airways 3, Indigo 4. So, he says that Indigo and Air India is comparatively more cost efficient than Jet. Then customer support wise, his opinion is Jet and Indigo provides a better customer care than Indian Airways. Meal wise, Air India is a full service, so therefore, the meal is provided here. So, it gets better score. Jet and Indigo, you have to buy food on the craft. So, therefore, it is getting lesser score. Prestige 432, group conformity 251, advertising 154. Now, let us see. So, therefore, our EIJs are these column values. So, E11, E12, E23, E24 like this. This is E21, E22, E23, E24, E25 like this, and this is E31, E32, E33, E34 so on, and this side is the B side. So, now we knew that the multi attribute model attitude towards object in 1972, which Martin Fishman has propounded and we have discussed in the previous sessions. So, this is the formula attitude towards object, that is equal to BI sigma BI EI, where I running from 1 to up to n, n is the number of silent attribute. Here we have seen that we have 7 attributes altogether, and these 7 attributes which we are seeing here. So, therefore, here n is 1 to up to 7. So, we get this table here. So, these are the weights which we already have, and now we have got the multiplied scores. So, we are talking about first we talk about Air India, and this column number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, column 6 is talking about the scores of Air India. In time preference, the weighted score of Air India, which means multiplication of this weight with the score here. So, that shows that here it is 0.26. Similarly, if we compare this, I mean 0.13 and this 4 Jet Airways, and we multiply this, we get here 0.52, then we multiply 0.13 with this 5 of Indigo. So, we get this score for Indigo, weighted score for Indigo in the attribute time preference as 0.65. Similarly, for price, we get the weightage was 0.15. So, we have the score for Air India is 4. So, the weighted score of Air India in terms of price is 0.15 into 4, that is 0.6. We have the weighted score for Jet Airways in terms of price is 0.15 into 3, that is 0.45, and similarly, we have for Indigo 0.15 into 4, that is 0.6. So, this is how for all the attributes we are getting scores for Indigo, Indigo, Jet and Air India. This is the column for Air India, and this is the column for Jet, and this is the weighted scores for Indigo. Now, here we get the composite sum of sigma Bij. So, we talk about first sigma Bi E1j. I am sorry, B1j, where j may be j running from 1 to n. So, here we show that in this slide that the total score is the summation of this column, that comes to 2.65. Here the total score comes to 3.99, and here the total score comes to 2.74. So, therefore, going by this formula, the preference for airlines following this first attitude towards object model, we get ATO for Air India 2.65, ATO for Jet Airways 3.99, ATO for Indigo, that is 2.74. So, clearly the highest is for Jet Airways. So, the most strong positive attitude of Mr. Ram Singh would be for Jet Airways. Now, we go for ideal point multi attribute model with the same score. Now, here as we have said that Wi is the relative importance of attribute I, II is the ideal performance of the product on attribute I, and Xi is the belief about the product's actual performance on attribute I, N is the number of salient attribute. So, what we are doing here, we are adding another column which is an ideal brand. So, we are putting the scores for the ideal score for all attributes. So, that is why we are putting here 5, 5, 5, 5, because that could be the best brand, and these are the other score table which is intact. So, now we come to this table. First, we try to see the score for Indigo here. The score for Indigo should be, first we have to calculate what is the differential of the scores between Indigo and the ideal brand. So, in the first attribute, that is time preference, it is Xi we have to calculate actually II minus Xi. So, it is 5 minus 5, that is 0. The second one we come here, that is 5 minus 4, that is coming to 1. Then we have again 5 minus 4, 1. Then we have 5 minus 1, that is coming to 4. Then we have 5 minus 2, that is coming to 3. Then we have 5 minus 1, that is 4. Again 5 minus 4, that is 1. So, what we try to see here, now we will multiply this differential with the weightage to get the score which we have mentioned here, that is sigma of Wi into II minus Xi. So, we get the score here, that is 2.26 for Indigo. So, now if we replace Indigo with Jet Airways, and now we put X as Jet Airways, similarly you can find out II Xi, and we can also find out Wi into II Xi. So, following this the ideal point multi attribute model, we could say that the attitude score of Indigo Airlines as we have found is 2.26. Similarly, if you calculate for Air India, we get 2.35. In a similar way, if you go for Jet Airways, we get 1.01. But here our question is how close we should be towards the ideal brand or the expected feature of the product. So, that is why the lesser the score is, the better it is. So, in this case Jet Airways is the closest to the ideal brand. So, therefore, we say by following this ideal point multi attribute model, Jet Airways is preferred. So, now we talk about a different part, that how this is the attitude formation which we are talking about. Now, if we try to see how the attitude could be changed. So, for that we have seen according to Metro Thursday 6th October 2016 that Indigo has just announced child free zones for its premium seats, meaning that the children under the age of 12 are not allowed to sit in those areas. Now, here I am adding another attribute to that scorecard, and see Mr. Ram Singh is a frequent traveler. So, I assume that he is a business traveler. So, he will definitely prefer a child free zone, and this will supersede the other criteria, and that is quite expected. And when he was surveyed, we have seen that what we have got is the total weightage scorecard has changed. I mean the relative weightages have changed. This child free zone, we can see we have made it bold, because here this is criteria number 8 actually, which we are seeing here. This criteria number 8 is actually we are seeing the highest score here, that is 0.4 in terms of weightage, and this is criteria number 8, whereas the others have also changed. Now, we see the next important attribute is price, followed by meal, time, followed by group conformity and advertising. Then we are seeing meal and the other criteria, and we again get the scorecard. Now, we have the scorecard like this. So, in this scorecard after C7 we have added another criteria, as we have said, child free zone, which is having a weight of 0.4. So, now what we are doing by ATO model, if you go in ATO model, now all these scores have changed. You can clearly see, because this has changed. So, naturally this into this has also changed. Now, this multiplied by this has also changed, this has also changed. So, all these scores have got changed, right, and that is why we are getting a total score now 2.04 for Air India, we are getting 2.6 for Jet, whereas Indigo is getting a score of 3.85. So, which means earlier we will just see the first table here, where Indigo Jet Airways was getting the highest score, because that time this attribute was not there, this child free zone. So, that is how our most important attributes were almost like time, price, customer support, all were getting very high preference. But as soon as we have added another attribute, which is child free zone, and as because he is a frequent traveler and particularly a business traveler, he is more inclined, and he is very elated to see this kind of attribute. So, that is why he has placed huge importance to this particular attribute. If you see here in this table that it is 0.4, which is 40% importance. So, clearly all other relative weightages have got changed, and we are seeing now his preference is now towards the airlines, which is providing this particular attribute. So, therefore, as we are saying that the preference for airlines is now ATO score for Air India is 2.04, ATO score for Jet Airways is 2.6, ATO score for Indigo is now 3.85. So, clearly now Mr. Ram Singh has strongly favorable attitude towards Indigo as compared to any other airways. So, hence the attitude could be altered by changing the relative importance of the attribute in the mind of the customer, as well as you can add a new attribute and change. Some airways could have said here that we are extremely good in terms of time. Indigo one point they actually said this also, that they are very good in terms of time. So, if they have also said there is a no frills airline, so price could be one very important criteria. So, they can change the relative, say the customer was preferring full service airline, but as because I have given these two criteria like timeliness and price, and I am saying that I am very good at this. So, customer may start placing more importance to these two criteria later on. So, this may help in changing the relative weightages, and if the relative weightages changes, actually this weighted scores will get changed, and as a result these summations will also get changed. And we are seeing that in this case we have added an attribute, and which has actually changed the relative weightages, and we are seeing that Indigo is clearly preferred than any other airways. So, this is how by adding an attribute, altering an attribute, and doing changing the brand beliefs and doing several other things, you can actually alter the relative importance of the attributes, and also you can change the scorecard. So, now we talk about the, so this is how attitude could be formed and changed. So, to conclude about the chapter of attitude formation and change, we talk about the marketing implication of the same. In marketing implication, first area is the market segmentation, in which we have an inference, like we say that we divide the market into suitable cluster based on the products and brands beliefs, customers beliefs about that, the relative importance of the attribute for different segments. For some segment maybe price is the most important criteria, some segment maybe the technical attribute may be the most important criteria. That is how Godrej is having double door refrigerator for the upper income segment, whereas they are having Chotocool maybe for the lower income segment. So, that is how it is used in segmentation. And the action is, of course, select the appropriate marketing strategy based on the lifestyle and benefit segmentation, also demographic segmentation, competitive analysis, So, possibility of benefit, beliefs and promoting the USP of the company's brand as compared to the competitors. So, as right now I have shown in Indigo case that how just this child free zone has changed the relative evaluation of different brands in the mind of Mr. Ramsing. So, similarly, we can actually alter the product's positioning if required. Company may go for products differentiation or the brand line extension. I have also discussed in the previous session how Tanishq is going for Shubham collection for the festive brand to show that they are also for a festive brand. Designing the marketing mix, yes, attitude is very important in this case also. The inference is that developing ideas about new products, communication mix, developing proper distribution channel and pricing strategy. Action, of course, setting the price in line with the customer's perception and attitude, developing proper distribution channel, identifying the most impact making promotional message, media and brand ambassadors. Again, market opportunity analysis, also attitude is an important parameter. So, the inference is constant monitoring of attitudinal change to the demographic, psychographic benefit segments, and then the action is catered to new markets based on newly found upward or downward marketing opportunities. If I find that there is, say, Godrej Chotucool is sold to the upper income customers as a cooler when they are going for travel or they are going for parties. On the other, they can carry it in their cars. On the other hand, for the lower income population, it is used as a refrigerator itself. I mean a household refrigerator, as the normally a big refrigerator is used, they are also using in the same way for the same purpose. So, like this upward and downward stage. Otherwise, say for Surf Excel is for Hindustan Lever is we can see Surf Excel they are having for the upper or upper middle income segment, whereas for the lower income segment they also have Wheel and Wheel Active. Then altering the customer's attitude. The inference is proper understanding of consumers' changing perception about the product and the brand due to the change in the demographics and external marketing environment, and the action would be develop positioning and particularly the repositioning strategy by the company. So, this is the overall implication, marketing implications of attitude, where the study of attitude could be used and what are the actions could be taken. So, this completes our module of attitude. We started with attitude formation, then we have talked about several models in the previous sessions, then we have talked about how to change the attitude, and then a small exercise and case study, which today in this model we have done. So, thank you so much. We will meet in the next session with values and lifestyle. Till then, thank you and goodbye.